Right guys, it is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly, and yes, I know, as Adam has said in the chat there, it is a day late, but I wanted to give my thoughts on Manchester United's 4-1 win over Newcastle after pretty well all the results in the Premier League, apart from one tomorrow on the Monday Night Football, seen as top of the league. I know it's only on goals scored, I know there's two teams with the same amount of points below us, but you know what? You've got to take the wins early on in the season. 4 games, haven't lost a game yet. Only dropped 2 points to Southampton, which still really does annoy me, especially when you look at how we played in the other games. 10 points on the board, and realistically, Manchester United are not known for being quick starters. I can't remember too many seasons where we've started really quickly and won all 4 of our first 4 games. So in terms of starts, this is actually a pretty good one in the grand scheme of things. And yesterday's game was a huge win, really. A massive occasion, obviously. Cristiano Ronaldo coming back to Old Trafford, and he didn't disappoint. 2 goals on his second debut, his first goal since 2009 as well for the club, and he took them very, very well. Yes, I know there's a little bit of dodgy goalkeeping involved, but he took them very well indeed. The first one just a tap-in, really, but he had to be there. And I know there's a lot of people that are going to say it was an easy goal, really, say it was, it doesn't really count because it's just a tap-in, but you have to be there to score these types of goals. Yes, it seems really easy on the face of it, but the movement and the intelligence to be in the right place at the right time is so key, especially when you're looking at scoring goals. And Ronaldo certainly knows how to do that. The second one, a brilliant finish on his left foot, took the ball from Shaw on his right, put it onto his left foot and put it through the keeper's legs. Again, a little bit of dodgy goalkeeping. I thought Woodman in the Newcastle goal looked a little bit dodgy throughout, to be honest. I don't think he really covered himself in glory at all in the game. But Ronaldo got his second goal, and that really was the all-important goal because it put us back ahead, and the momentum from that point on completely changed, really. Newcastle, actually in the first kind of 50, 60 minutes of that game, were almost on top in that they looked pretty solid defensively, and they actually created some dangerous opportunities, and really, if they had some better end product, they could have punished us a little bit more. But fortunately for us, they didn't, and our quality shone through in the end. Bruno Fernandes, of course, getting his goal from about 30 yards out. Unbelievable strike from Bruno Fernandes. His 4th Premier League goal of the season puts him level, I think, with Antonio as the top goal scorer in the league. Pogba, of course, as well, getting 7 assists in his first 4 games. The first Premier League player ever to have 7 assists after 4 games. And he's got the same amount of assists as Paul Scholes managed in his best ever season in terms of assists. So he's looking good, Paul Pogba. Hopefully he can continue that throughout the rest of the season. And then obviously Jessie Lingard, it was nice to see him get on the score sheet. A really nicely well-worked goal as well, that one. And finished very well into the far right-hand corner, or the far left-hand corner for the goalkeeper. Lingard, I think that's his first goal since, it might have been Leicester at the end of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first season. It could have literally been that far. So amazing, absolutely amazing. A few comments. Adam, thanks for joining, appreciate it. As I said, he was telling me it's a day late. I know, I do apologise, I should have done it yesterday, but I was a little bit busy last night as well, so I do apologise. But hopefully we'll get back to regular, preview, review, match reaction, all that good stuff live for you guys, live and direct on Red Devil Weekly. We will be doing a preview for the Young Boys game, actually, and that's what's great about having Premier League and Champions League games coming thick and fast. The content comes thick and fast as well. Diego C. Palace, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Adam says, top tap-in merchant, should have done better. The saltiness is real. You can't disrespect the GOAT. Well, this is the thing, is that I think with Ronaldo coming, what it does bring is even more ABUs than before. And what I mean by that is anyone but United's. And I feel like, for me, Ronaldo is someone that boils piss on the regular, and he knows how to do it, and I think he knows that he's doing it as well, and I think he absolutely loves every second of it. He loves the doubters. I think he really does thrive on the people that doubt him, say that he's too old, say that his legs have gone. He thrives on those sort of people. I wouldn't go as far as say he needs them, but he definitely thrives with those sort of people. Michael, thanks for joining. Michael Barrett, appreciate it. He says, alright mate, great game yesterday. Yep. Couldn't agree more, Michael. You pretty well summed up in that sentence, John. It was a great game. A fantastic game for Manchester United. I said it would be 4-1 before the game. That was, obviously, it came true. I'm not smug or anything, of course. But I always felt nick a goal, and there were some people before that were kind of, I think, disrespecting Newcastle a little bit. I feel like, even though they're not the best side, defensively they're really poor this season. I think they've scored goals in their opening 4 games this season, so 4 goals a game. 3 goals a game, sorry. But it's still a poor record, really, for a Premier League side. However, they always seem to nick a goal when they come to Old Trafford. I don't know if you guys really noticed that. If you look at all the games that we played at Old Trafford in the past few seasons against Newcastle, it's always been 4-1, 5-1. It's always been close, but Newcastle have always managed to somehow nick a goal. So I just had a hunch that even though on paper we should obliterate them, they would just nick a goal, and they did. And it was a pretty decent goal on the counter-attack, to be fair. Maguire got absolutely sold. Varane tried to mop up, but it was too late. It was too much of an overload at the back post. Maximin played it off to Manquillo, the former Liverpool player, of course. Of course, it had to be the former Liverpool player. When do we not concede against a former Liverpool or Man City player? When does that ever not happen? But yeah, Manquillo scored his second Premier League goal in his history to make it 1-1. At that point, I was a little bit worried because I'm thinking, we're going to need a bit of quality to get us out of this, like we usually do, really, with under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and in this team. And we obviously got provided Cristiano Ronaldo. He is the man for the big occasion. Of course he is. And he scored that goal, took it well, as I said. The goalkeeping wasn't brilliant. But to win the raffle, you got to buy a ticket. And Ronaldo certainly did buy a ticket with that shot. So in the end of the day, that equaliser could have really turned the game on its head. Unfortunately for us, Ronaldo was on hand to put us back in front. But if we hadn't have done that, I think Newcastle would have been good value for the point, especially up until the point where they equalised, because I didn't think we troubled them too much until we scored the opener, and that was a little bit fortunate as well. And Newcastle, to be fair to them, didn't play as badly as I think a lot of people thought they would. I think actually going forward, they looked pretty good. Just defensively, they let themselves down in the end, unfortunately. Sean from the Worldwide Red Show, how are you doing, mate? I hope you're doing well. Nostradamus himself with the 4-1 prediction. Hey, listen, I'm not smug at all. Don't worry about that. But anyway, Sean, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Diogo C. Palace says the 4th Man United goal all started from your Donny passing the ball to Pogba onto Lingard. Great team goal. Yeah, I saw he was involved a little bit, made the pass to Pogba. Pogba's 7th assist, of course, that one, which is just ridiculous numbers. But yeah, obviously he came on in the last 5 minutes, Van de Beek, and I think there were some people thinking that Fred probably wasn't going to play, even though they did lift the Brazilian ban, I think on the day of the game, actually, or maybe it was the day before the game they lifted that ban. So Fred could have actually played, and I think that was worrying a lot of United fans before the start of the game. But obviously Matic played in his place. Van de Beek could have played in that position, although I don't think that's his best position. But realistically, with Fernandes and Pogba playing the way they are, how does Van de Beek get into the team apart from being in the pivot? I just don't see how else he gets into this team. So I think there was some people saying this is a big opportunity to potentially give Van de Beek some game time. Obviously, that didn't happen until the 5th minute, 5 minutes before the end, actually. So he did all right, to be fair, but again, you can't really tell much from that performance. But yeah, Van de Beek, we know he's got quality. We know he's got genuine quality. He showed it for Ajax. He's definitely got quality, and Ollie has also come out and said that he will be looking to give Van de Beek more game time, and I hope that happens. I hope we see that happening, but up until right now, we still haven't really seen that this season. But obviously, young boys on Tuesday, I have a hunch he might get a game in that one. Just a hunch, of course. Emmanuel, thanks for joining. Emmanuel, appreciate it. Says, yesterday felt like the old United with CR7 back. Need a bit more consistency to challenge for the title. Yep, I think it's a good point, Emmanuel. Obviously, it's only the first 4 games. But it looks decent. Obviously, CR7 coming back was just amazing to see him actually score at Old Trafford. I think all the kind of media hype, the admin posting 82 times since he signed, and just absolutely clogging up the feed with Ronaldo propaganda. We love to see it. But I think actually seeing him put on a United shirt and score at the Stretford End is something that money can't buy. It really, really can't buy that. And, it was amazing to see him back in the United shirt. Amazing to see him actually have an influence on games as well. I think there were some people, especially in the media, who were thinking that he was just going to turn up and basically, waltz around the pitch, get a few goals this season, but ultimately his legs have gone. He wasn't going to really contribute. But boy, did he prove them wrong in that game. And I know it's only one game. Listen, I know it's only one game. But it looks pretty good. If he can perform like that in every game this season, we'll score goals. And he will score goals. And I think there's a lot of decent strikers in the Premier League. Don't get me wrong. Lukaku, Harry Kane, all these guys. He's going to have a lot of competition for that golden boot. Mohamed Salah scored again today. 100 goals for him, which, I hate to say it, but it's a brilliant achievement. A brilliant achievement for him. But he's got a lot of competition for that golden boot. But wouldn't it just be like Ronaldo to come back to the Premier League, 36 years of age, everyone writing him off to get that Premier League golden boot? Wouldn't it just be like Ronaldo to do that? It would be. Absolutely. So yeah, I think consistency as well. I think you made a good point. I think, again, we did rely a little bit on individual moments, especially with the Ronaldo goal to make it 2-1. Up until that point, I didn't think we were playing the best. I didn't think we were really playing our best style of play. I didn't think we were really playing our best football. Newcastle, if they had a better end product, as I said earlier, probably could have, put us 2-1 down. I really do believe that. So in the end of the day, we need to be careful. We do need to be careful because I think a better team, a team with a little bit more quality than Newcastle, makes us pay in that first half. I really do. Rich, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. I've kicked on the wrong one. Rich, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Make sure you check out Rich Sports as well. Brilliant stuff over there, as well as the Worldwide Red Show, of course. Check out all the channels that I shout out on this stream. Make sure you check them out. Brilliant stuff over there. If you like this stuff, then please do go to their channel because you'll love their stuff as well. Matthew, thanks for joining us. Paul Merson's looked a little silly, doesn't he? When does he not look silly? When does Paul Merson not look silly? I mean, how that guy's got a job, I will never know. I mean, he's entertaining, but in terms of his insight, you get more on the back for C, believe that. Yeah, keep the comments coming in. Keep the comments coming in. Sean saying, we will always rely on that under this manager. That's why it's important to give him individual quality, which we have now. Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at last season, look at the amount of times we came back. And I agree that, we do need that individual brilliance. I think it also shows, coming back from behind, that you have that character and desire and that never say die mentality that you need. But at the same time, you can't deny, especially this season already, we have got out of jail a few times. I mean, I don't think you can really get a bigger example than when Mason Greenwood scores in the 85th minute of that Wolves game to get us out of jail. That's probably the biggest one I've seen this season so far. Obviously, if we win every game 1-0 and we win the title, I will not give a hoot. I will not care whatsoever if we're using individual brilliance. But we do have those players, as you said. We've got Ronaldo, Fernandes, Pogba, Sancho, Greenwood, Rashford's going to come back, Martial, all these guys that can produce a little bit of quality. And I think someone summed it up on Twitter best, I think, that this season we've been getting past teams because we have better players than the opposition, not necessarily because we've been outplaying them. And I think for the first 4 games of the season, I think that's the perfect summary of how everything's been going. Hopefully, as everything starts to click, we can start really outplaying teams from start to finish, controlling possession, controlling the flow of the game, and putting teams to the sword. And I genuinely believe with the team we have, we can do that. But as of right now, to be top of the table, I know it's on goals scored, but to be top of the table, I'll take it. Listen, I'll take it. Appreciate it, Diogo. Yep, keep hitting those likes, subscribe if you're new. Please do if you are new. We're only 2 subscribers away from the illustrious 900 subscriber mark. So anything you guys can do to help us out with that would be absolutely fantastic, as always. Owen's joined us. Thanks for joining, Owen. Appreciate it. It says, Fred back on Tuesday. Our respite will only be brief, I fear. Yeah, I know. Fred's obviously... I mean, he could have played in this one. He actually could have played in this game. The ban was lifted, so he could have started in this one. Obviously, Ollie decided against it, and I think probably that was the right decision. I say probably, it was definitely the right decision. But I wouldn't be surprised if he got put back in there for young boys, because if Ollie does see Fred as a starting CDM, God help us, he will want him to get a bit of match practice before the next Premier League game against West Ham. So I wouldn't be surprised if Fred does go in against Young Boys. Apart from that, we take against Young Boys. I have a suspicion that Ollie might change the lineup a little bit. This lineup was poor opening Premier League games, so we might change it a little bit. We might see a little bit of change in the Champions League. Obviously, again, Young Boys is a game that we should be expecting. I'm not sure if it's home or away, actually. I should have done my research. Is it home or away? Are we in Switzerland on Tuesday? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. But yeah, if we are travelling, I think again we might see a bit of changes. If we're home, then it's fine. Doesn't really matter because obviously we're still going to be in Old Trafford. But if we're away from home, that could change the story a little bit. Rich says most teams have more quality in Newcastle. To be fair, you're not wrong, Rich. You're not wrong. Trust me, you're not wrong. Owen says, by the way, what do we think to that blatant exaggeration of De Gea's part to play in Bruno's goal? Didn't know we were praising a punt up the pitch. I think it was good distribution. I mean, I think you're being a little bit harsh. I thought it was a brilliant kick. Let's be honest, if Ederson or Alisson did that, the media would be having an absolute wankfest over it. So let's not, downplay De Gea's part in the goal. You've got to big it up because everyone else would be bigging it up if it was any other goalkeeper in the league. It was a great pass to Mason Greenwood. So I know the initial attack from what that he set up didn't come to anything, and Fernandes just had a shot from outside. But realistically, you've got to give him some praise. You've got to give him some praise, in my opinion. But to be fair, coming from Owen, I'm not sure that comment really surprises me. Matthew says, De Gea needs to work on his distribution. Him doing it well like he did yesterday is a very encouraging sign. I mean, I always thought that De Gea's distribution was a strong part of his game. I don't think he needed to work on it. I actually thought that he was always a strong part of his game. Maybe recently, especially when he was having his kind of poor dip in form, it wasn't brilliant. There were a lot of times where he'd try and punt it out, and he would punt it straight into the centre circle to one of their players, and it would start a bit of a counter-attack. That did happen quite often when he was having his slump, but he looks good right now, and hopefully this is De Gea back to his best, or at least close to his best. And it looks like he's being a lot better with his distribution. But obviously, again, it's only 4 games. It's away from home. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, there might be a few changes. We've got a good record away from home anyway. I know it's in the league, but we've got a good record away from home in all competitions, I think. So we should be fine going away to Young Boys. Obviously, it's on a Tuesday night as well, so I don't think that'll interfere with the West Ham preparation, which is always good. And I think it's because I'm only thinking about that sort of stuff because we used to be in the Europa League. Do you remember when we were in the Europa League? Do you remember when we had to play Thursday nights? I don't remember at all. Adam says Owen, De Gea clear of Henderson. I think most people agree. Rich says Owen agenda ? Don't think that even needs a question mark, Rich. I think we can all be certain of that. We've all seen that play out in the last few weeks, months as well. In fact, even since Henderson came in, it hasn't been dropped. The agenda's been going strong. The agenda's been going very strong. But I think it's going to be tough, all jokes aside. It's going to be tough for Henderson to get into this team. Obviously, Solskjaer picked him to be the starting keeper in the league when De Gea went off to help his wife have a kid. I think, Henderson obviously started all the Premier League games then. But realistically, on this sort of form, I think De Gea is showing some great form. It's going to be difficult for Henderson to get back in. I think we could see him in the Champions League. We could see him in the Carabao Cups, FA Cup games. But in terms of the Premier League, I think De Gea's got that locked up right now. And for Tom Heaton, don't know where he fits in. I really don't know where Tom Heaton fits in right now, especially with Henderson fit. I don't see how Tom Heaton plays. I think it could be a similar situation to the Lee Grant one, where he gets like one appearance in his whole Man United career, and that's when Henderson gets sent off in a game or De Gea gets sent off. So yeah, I think realistically, Tom Heaton's not going to play much. And if he's happy with that, then fair enough. But I don't know a goalkeeper, I don't know a player in general that would be happy with just sitting on the bench. Owen says his performances have improved the last 3 years. Not good enough by his standards. He is a United legend, though. That comment just went up and down and up and down. He says his performances have improved, but the last 3 years, not good enough by his standards. He's the United legend. Okay, right. I think I read that wrong. You should have put some, friggin' We'll leave that. I've forgotten the word. Punctuation, that's it. So yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. I'd even think saying he's a United legend is probably a little bit strong. I think he's a one of the best goalkeepers we've had. I think some people would put him in that top 3 with Van der Sar, Schmeichel, and then De Gea. Some people would put him there. Let me know where you guys would put him in that sort of hierarchy. Would you put him in that top 3, or do you think there's been a few keepers before that have been better? But for me, I think that in the last 3 years, he's not been at his best. He hasn't been at his best, but I still think that he's a very solid goalkeeper, and I think right now he's performing very well indeed. He looks very, very solid. And I don't see the reason to change him. I don't see a reason to change David De Gea right now. If he gets injured, we have got adequate backup, and that's the best thing, having that sort of backup. Owen said, would be a disgrace if that happened. Selling Henderson. I don't think we're going to sell Dean Henderson, Sean. I don't think there's any chance of that happening. Especially with the fact that he just signed his contract last year. I don't think we're selling him anytime soon. As I said, he will get a role. He will play a role in the Carabao Cup and FA Cup games this season. Potentially even some Champions League games. We might see him against Young Boys. Who knows? We might see him against Young Boys. And I'll be doing a preview to that game tomorrow. So make sure you do check that out. Tomorrow, if you are around, of course. Probably tomorrow evening, because that's when I usually do streams during the week. So tomorrow evening, doing a preview for that Young Boys game, the first Champions League game back, not at Old Trafford, but in the, I can't remember what the stadium is called. It's called some weird name, actually. But it's in Switzerland, and I'm looking forward to it. The last time we played Young Boys in Switzerland, it was a very resounding 3-1 victory, I think it was. Or was it 3-0? Maybe it was 3-0. But it was a pretty resounding victory. I think Pogba and Martial got on the score sheet. Yeah, pretty resounding victory for Manchester United. So we've got good memories going to that place. Hopefully we can make a few more and get off to a good start in the Champions League group. But I've kind of said my piece really on this game. Let me know if you've got any last comments. I just wanted to do a live review of it. I know it's a day late. It should have been done yesterday. I was a little bit busy last night, so I do apologise about that. But hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hopefully you've been able to say what you want to say about the game. And top of the league. That's all I'll say. Top of the league. 4 games in. I know it's 4 games in, but you've got to be shameless. You've got to be shameless, because how many times have we been able to say Man United have been top of the league? You've got to enjoy it. I know there'll be people that are saying you're getting ahead of yourself, all this, and I don't care. I don't care. We're top of the league, and we might be 4th or 5th by the end of next week. You never know. So you've got to enjoy it while it lasts. And for this week only, we'll be top of the league. Hopefully not only, hopefully for the rest of the season, but we'll be top of the league by the time we play West Ham. So any last comments? We've got Adam here that says that lineup we played versus Newcastle is our best. Yeah, I think some people might argue with Matic, one of those being me. I think potentially you could replace Matic with McTominay and it would be our best lineup. I actually think McTominay probably isn't our best lineup. I think he is our best CDM. I know a lot of people might have a go at me for that, say I'm deluded, but I genuinely do think that McTominay is our best CDM. So I think apart from that, is that I think you're right. The defence picks itself, goalkeeper picks itself, as well, and the forward line at this moment in time does pick itself. Obviously, when Rashford comes back, that is going to be interesting, because Jadon Sancho right now obviously hasn't really contributed in terms of the goals or assist column, but he actually looked a bit better in that game, and hopefully that's a sign of him getting just slightly more used to the Premier League as games go on. Obviously, you want him to hit the ground running because he was about 70 million quid. So you'd want a player of that sort of quality to hit the ground running if you can. But I'm sure he'll come good. I'm very, very confident that Jadon Sancho will come good. And we'll have an immaculate front 3. But I agree, pretty well what we played yesterday probably was our front 3. Our perfect team. Diogo says the stadium is the Wankdor Stadium. I knew it was something weird like that. Surf Morehouse TV, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. He says, title is yours. Everyone says Chelsea, but I think this season you're a different animal. Sue, yes, mate. I'm loving it, mate. I'm loving it. You see, that's an unbiased rival fan's view then. So anything I say from now on, I'm just saying, we've got an unbiased rival fans view right there. So there you go. I'm not being overconfident. In future, I'll refer you back to this brilliant comment. I'll refer you back to this. Whenever you think I'm getting cocky, I'll refer you back to this. But thanks for joining, Dan. Appreciate it, mate. Appreciate it. But I'm probably just about to wrap up. So, as I said, if you've got any last thoughts, any last opinions, I've kind of gone through everything in the game. I know it's a day late as well, so probably just a bit worn out with all the talk about the game. But Ronaldo scoring those 2 goals, you will not get a better feeling, honestly. I was like a kid at Christmas before the game. All those feelings and hopes came true, really. Back, score a goal in front of the Stretford End, score 2 goals as well. What can you say? What can you really say about that? And I got the prediction right, perfect. So that's it's a perfect game, really, in my eyes. I don't care that we didn't keep a clean sheet. Came true. So really, I don't know what any of the defenders were moping about. My prediction came true. Doesn't matter about the clean sheet. Rich says Lukaku with his Heskey first touch. Didn't he scored yesterday, to be fair to him. He did score yesterday. Or was it it was yesterday. Sorry, against Aston Villa. But he'll be Ronaldo for that golden boot. He will be batting out for Ronaldo with that golden boot. But who knows? He looks pretty good so far. I've got to say, he does look pretty good so far, but his touch still does need a little bit of work. After all this time, it still needs a little bit of work. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Make sure to check out Worldwide Red Show, Rich Sports, and also check out Turf Morehouse TV. Brilliant stuff on there. And hit that like button as well if you haven't already. And also, if you've enjoyed the content, please do hit that like button. If you didn't like it, feel free to hit that dislike button and tell me why in the comment section down below. And we're only 2 subscribers away from 900 subscribers, getting so close to that special mark. So anything you guys can do to help us out with that would be absolutely amazing. If you enjoy the content, please do hit that subscribe button for more videos on the channel. But until the next time, which will be tomorrow, we'll be previewing the Young Boys game, our first game back in the Champions League. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, all that good stuff. And until then, we'll see you in a bit. Cheers.